Takanohana comes in, accompanied by Skebito. Those are his attendants. So Yokozuna will have quite a number of these lower ranked wrestlers who have to fetch and carry for the great man. Well, he's only had one loss so far. Well, of course, it's a matter of pride for the Japanese. Sumo's their sport, and for the last 7 basho, they haven't seen any sight of their own grand champion. All they had was Musashi Maru, the foreigner, a man from Hawaii, winning a number of bashos. So everybody's very glad to see him back and hopes and willing him on and hoping he'll do well. Well, there you see the Bansuke at the beginning of day 4. Tochiazuma's not fighting this time out. And there's a clutch of wrestlers with 3 wins and no losses, but it's a very early stage. Now, Akinoshima fights Wakanoyama. They've fought 13 times in the past. Akinoshima's won 10 of them. Akinoshima on the right there. Wakanoyama, the hairier one of the 2, and he's disposes of Akinoshima without too much trouble. 3rd loss for Akinoshima, and 4th straight win for Wakanoyama. Very rare for him to get 4 straight wins from the beginning of a basho, but this time he seems to be on form. Now, Otsukasa fights Daizen. They've had 9 head-to-heads previously. Otsukasa's won 5 of them, but it's pretty even. Daizen, 37 years old, quite likely, not quite the oldest pro sumo wrestler. Terao is older than him, but he's in the Juryo division. But all the signs are that Terao and Takutoriki will retire this tournament. So that will leave this man here, Daizen, as the oldest Rikushi. Certainly he's the oldest Rikushi in the Makuuchi division. Well, that was a good spirited fight there by Daizen, but it's Otsukasa who gets it in the end with a slap down, a hatakikomi. And that was the first much needed win for Otsukasa. Now, Kasuganishiki against Asanowaka. Asanowaka in his 46th Makuuchi basho. Kasuganishiki in his 1st. Well, Asanowaka comes out, jumps the gun a bit, comes across the gap between the 2 of them. Tries a slap down there. Well, that's his trademark. He's extremely good at that. Changes, as they call them, henka from the techiai. Came out with a hard drive for the first time out, and then second one he did exactly the opposite. He just leapt to one side and pulled Kasuganishiki down. So 3rd win for Asanowaka. He's doing all right. Tamakasuga against Mongolian Kyokushuzan. They've had 14 fights in the past. Tamakasuga's won 8 of them, but not that time. Well, Kyokushuzan, he's a strange wrestler. Last time out he had 1 win. Basho before that he had 10 wins. Goes up and down like a yo-yo. He'll have good bashos and really bad bashos. Got a lot of technique. Never quite know how he's going to do. Now Gojoro against Kotomitsuki. Kotomitsuki facing possible demotion to Juryo this time. He's his last basho he had 7 wins. That's Makikoshi. One before that he sat out. So he needs a reasonably good result this time. But that's it. That's a win for him. That's his 3rd win. So he's hanging on in there. And that was 3rd loss for Gojoro. It's amazing to think that September 2001, this man Kotomitsuki, the one we just saw, won a tournament. But injuries, of course, are the bane of these wrestlers' lives. It's a very rough game. Now, Aminishiki against Tokitsuumi. They've had 7 fights in the past. Tokitsuumi's won 4 of them. Well, there's a lot of activity there, but there's a pull down at the end of it. Quite a lot of thrusting. Not too rough, not so much to the face or the throat, more or less directed to the upper body. And it's Aminishiki the lightweight wrestler who takes his third win. Hokutoriki. This is translates as Northern Fighting Strength. Tamanoshima, Jewel Island. Well, a very slow start there. It looks as though Tamanoshima couldn't believe it was about to start, so he didn't really wake up from that at all. I think he expected the referee to call it a full start, but he didn't. So Hokutoriki takes his third win, and Tamanoshima gets his second loss. Now we move on. Takanowaka, noble and young, his name means, fights Buyuzan. Military Hero Mountain, I think that his name means. Now, these two have never fought before, both around the 150 kilo mark, which is about average for this Makuuchi division. Buyuzan makes most of the going so far, but he's getting driven back. Well, that seems to have woken Takanowaka up. And he gets the result in the end with hikiotoshi. So we're seeing quite a lot of, we started off this basho by seeing quite a lot of yorikiris, those force outs, yoritoshi, force downs. But we're also seeing a lot of these, what they call hikiwaza, which is the pulling down or the slapping down throws. Not generally reckoned to be good sumo. In fact, the stable bosses tell their proteges, their younger wrestlers, not to do these sort of things, but they certainly do them. Now Toki against Kotoryu. Toki in the bright orange mawashi. Kotoryu overreached himself there. Well, he's 30 years old. He was out the last basho due to injury. That was his fourth straight loss, so it doesn't look as though he's recovering too well from it. Now Takamisakari, he's had previous bashos, three previous bashos he had kachikoshi. This time he's got 3 losses. And here fights Wakanosato, who's beaten him twice before. Takamisakari goes for the belt, but the power of Wakanosato overwhelms him. So possibly this 2 hours weight training session that Wakanosato has been doing recently, especially on the training camps that they now have in the summer, the gashiku they call them. Been pushing a lot of weights, might be starting to pay off. Now Musoyama from the Musashigawa stable fights Shimotori. About a 30 kilo weight difference between these two. Musoyama, powerful ozeki, set out the last tournament due to an injury, but Tokitsuumi's given him some stick, but gets twisted. Not Tokitsuumi, sorry, Shimotori there, gets spun over. So Musoyama wins that one. Looked like Shimotori was making a bit of a spirited fight back there, but skidded away with makiotoshi throw from Musoyama. This is getting more interesting. Tosanumi against Kaio. These two have fought 27 times. Kaio's won 20 of them. Very slow start there. I say slow, the hands went down slowly, but the start was fast enough. Well, Kaio's looking pretty good. He's only had 1 loss. That was his 3rd win. And that was first loss for Tosanumi. So Kaio looks focused. So this could well be an interesting basho, especially towards the end. Now, previous ozeki, now ranked at Komusubi. Takanonami fights Chiyotakai. They've met 22 times previously. Chiyotakai's won 15 of them. Chiyotakai back from the line. When they want to generate a bigger charge, they pull back from the line with the start. So that's a pretty good indicator of what he's going to do, although in fact his sumo is always a hard charge out. Well, Takanonami comes off the blocks pretty fast. He's not noted for his tachi-ai, but Chiyo Takai disposes of him pretty easily. Let's watch that one again. There's the initial charge, but you can see Takanonami's feet skidding across the ground as Chiyo Takai powers forward. So Chiyo Takai takes that one with oshidashi. And he gets some prize money. Not too many envelopes by the look of it. Well, this is the man who's certainly taking some envelopes. Usually he's not taking less than 10 every bout. He's had 3 bouts so far. As I said before, it's a barometer of Rikishi's popularity, the amount of envelopes that get put on a fight. And those are the two who will be fighting each other shortly, Miyabiyama and Takanohana. But before that, our next bout is Mongolian Asashoryu against other Mongolian Kyokutenho. Asashoryu's got 3 straight wins. Kyokutenho's got 2 wins and 1 loss. Asashoryu's the rougher, tougher, meaner of the two, but Kyokutenho's no pushover. He's got some good moves. So locks in tight, wraps both arms round, gets the belt. Asashoryu tries a grip change there, always a dodgy move, but manages to recover that. As he started to change his grip, Kyokutenho powered forward. But there's a twist and a lift with a leg on the inside. So the younger and lighter wrestler spins over Kyokutenho with Uwatinagi with a little bit of help from a leg on the inside. There you can see, a bit like judo throw there. So 4th straight win for Asashoryu. 2nd loss for fellow Mongolian Kyokutenho. Now Musashi Maru against Tochino Nada. You can see the size of Musashi Maru now. He's the heaviest Yokozuna ever. Apparently, I'm pretty sure he was heavier than Akibano, or is heavier. But he seems to be handling his extra weight quite well, as you can see. Disposes of Tochino Nada there without too much trouble. Yorikiri win with a bit of push at the end. Well, it's going to be interesting when Takanohana meets Musashi Maru. Of course, it was 8 bashos ago when Takanohana fought Musashi Maru that he injured his knee badly. That was in the playoff at the end of a match in May 2001. So here comes the grand champion, Takanohana. Man who's won, there's his brother, one-time Yokozuna Wakanohana. Well, you can see the support he's got here in Japan. These two have fought 9 times previously, and Takanohana's won 9 times. Well, what's Miyabiyama's game plan? Will he come out with his usual rough attacks to the face and the throat? Or will Takanohana get his hand on the belt pretty quickly? Well, it's a little bit open at this stage. He's giving the grand champion some stick, but Takanohana there trying for the belt hold. Looks like he's got his hand on, closing down on Miyabiyama, gets him to the edge. There's that sideways move as he pushes him over the edge. So certainly Takanohana's knees don't seem to be giving him any problems. Let's watch that one again. Some amount of scrabbling around for the belt there. The early stages of that match, eventually gets it. And there's, from that moment on, now you see that sideways movement. You see how Miyabiyama gets pushed over onto one leg as he gets driven over the edge. Not usually a straight nudge out, but always at a bit of an angle. Well, that is certainly livening up the sumo scene now. Looks like Takanohana's making a good comeback. Miyabayama wouldn't have given him much of a problem in the past, but the big question is just how bad or just how good is his knee now. Certainly seems to be all right. There's a lot of weight leaning on him there. Miyabayama's 178 kilos, some 30 kilos heavier than Takanohana. At the end of day 4, we've got a couple of wrestlers in the lead with 4 straight wins. We've got Asashoryu and Wakanoyama. And all the other contenders have got 1 loss apiece. Takanohana, Musashi Maru, Chio Taikai, etc. So stay with us. We'll be back very shortly with more sumo.